Hello, and welcome to Happy Time, Happy Money podcast. And today we have Lalvani. Rocky serves as a Chief Profitability Advisor for business owners. He teaches them how to ensure they get paid and they make profit a priority. As a certified Profit First professional, he implements Michalowicz Profit First system, and we will talk about it more in the interview. Hi, and welcome, Rocky.
Thank you so much for having me here today, Viktoriia. Excited to be with you.
Absolutely excited to have you here with us. And as always, I would love to learn more about you first and how you get started and what you're doing right now.
So I had a normal type of life. I had a W-2 job and I built my wealth. And then I said, what do I really want to do? And I've always been fascinated by money and growing wealth and helping people to do that. And I was kind of shocked to learn one day that most business owners weren't looking at their financial reports. And it was like, wait a minute, how do you run a business and not understand the business of business? And what I found out is that most business owners are not accountants. They don't want to be. They want to do the parts of the business that they love, and they ignore the rest. It's just like the rest of us, right? We do the things we like and we ignore the rest. The problem is if you ignore your finances, you're probably going to get in trouble. And so after learning that and reading the Profit First book, I decided to partner with Mike because that's just the way I always ran my finances, and said, let's go help business owners. Let's help them end entrepreneurial poverty and allow them to get the rewards of the work that they do in their business.
That sounds amazing. And well, so tell us more about what is the Profit First? What is this and how it helped you?
So Profit First is basically a system to manage your cash flow. It doesn't require accounting. It leverages the habits that we as business owners have. So most business owners look at their bank account and they say, do I have money? Don't I have money? If they don't have money, they freak out and they sell more. If they do have money, they tend to spend it. The problem is we forget the things that we've already spent on, which might be our taxes. It might be profit, right? We're supposed to take profit, but we don't set aside that money for profit. And most business owners pay themselves last, which is not good. You should pay yourself first because you deserve to be paid first. So what Profit First does is it essentially sets up bank accounts and it gives every dollar a job. And as soon as the money comes in, you say, hey, this is my pay because I deserve it. This is my profit because there should be a profit in the business. Here's money for taxes. And then if you have a high cost of goods, we might put money aside for cost of goods. And then here's what I truly have to spend on my business. And you put that in your operating account. The reason this works so well is because of Parkinson's law. Now, most people haven't heard of Parkinson's law, but what Parkinson's law basically says is we will use up all of the resources allocated. So for example, if you're doing something in your business, generally, let's say you're building a new location, the people will come to you and they'll say, well, what's your budget? And when do you need this done? And if you tell them $100,000 in 6 months, I guarantee you it will cost $100,000, take 6 months. If on the other hand, you say to them, I only have $10,000 and I need something done in 3 weeks, you'll find a way to get it done in 3 weeks for $10,000. And so by constraining ourselves like that, we make sure that we use up the time and the money that we have appropriately, because businesses will use up all the time and money that you give to them. And so when you implement that into your system, it just naturally helps you out and keeps you on point and on message and makes sure that you are financially successful and you have the time that you want in life as well.
I mean, I think this is amazing. And I think that a lot of business owners will say, hey, like they will plan things out, but then things got off the batch, it's getting longer and things just not always go by plan. So what do you do then?
So this comes back to the rule that everyone knows, the 80-20 rule, right? Which basically says 20% of what you do produces 80% of the results. And if you take that a step further, 40% of what you do produces 96% of the results. So if you stick to your timelines, if you stick to your budget and say, hey, we're going to do this, and this is the plan that we have, and you start to sit down and think, what is the 20 to 40% of what I do that's producing 80 to 96% of the results, and eliminate everything else? So you need thinking time. I think the biggest problem that most business owners have is they're so busy, they don't stop to take a moment to think and to look for creative solutions and other ways to do things. Usually what they do is throw time and money at a problem. So rather than throwing time and money at a problem, let's throw some insights at a problem. Let's think about it, and let's find a better way to do it that costs less and takes less time.
Isn't that book called Road Less Stupid? If thinking time.
Yes, that is
Yes,
the Road
I
Less
love
Stupid.
it. It's such a great book. Oh my gosh, if you haven't read it, like Profit First or Road Less Stupid, it's genius. I love it. Every end of the chapter, he's like, go think. You'll thank me later. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I want to go and think about it. It's a really, really awesome book. I really loved it. Absolutely. So what do you think is well, besides not using the Parkinson law and not paying yourself first, what is the biggest mistake business owners make and that their business fall apart?
They spend too much. Like literally, it's a couple of things. Either they spend too much or they don't charge enough, right? A lot of business owners are afraid to actually charge for the value they deliver. They're like, oh, people won't pay that. They will. The number one coaching thing, now it depends on the kind of business. If you're in a commodity business, get out of the commodity business. Find a different way to find a supply that doesn't give you the constraints. Otherwise, you just raise your prices and you'd be shocked. There are people who will buy from you because you have better, higher pricing. They want a premium product. They think if it's too low a cost, you're not worth it. And a lot of times we tie our emotions to what we charge people. So we have to kind of get over that and say, hey, I am worth more. I can charge more. I do bring value, and it's worth it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And the last question that I have for you today is a question that I ask everybody on this podcast. Finish this sentence for me, please. And it sounds like this. If you really knew me, you will know that I am blank.
I'm the numbers guy. I live to drive the difference between what comes in and what goes out. It's the way I've lived my life ever since I was young. And that's what essentially allowed me to build wealth. You cannot out earn your way to success. I don't care how much you've got coming in. The top line is vanity. The bottom line is sanity. And at the end of the day in business, cash is king.
Damn, where you were like 3 years ago. I needed you then. Okay, well, I know you have an awesome gift for my audience today. What it is?
So we'd like to give away 2 free chapters of Mike's book so you can get a chance to look at it, see if it's something that's enjoyable. And if you like it, then you can go purchase it. But we'll at least start you off with 2 free chapters, and we'll put a link in the show notes for you to find that today.
If you're watching or listening to this episode, no matter, just scroll down and in description, you'll find a link to our episode page. So then you go there and every mentions and contact information of me or Rocky will be there, and absolutely send messages with your feedback, with your ideas, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, Rocky, for coming over and sharing your knowledge, and I'll see you in the next episode, everybody. Bye.